This is the RODECaster Pro 2. I'm going to break down why this is such a great setup, what you need to order it, and how to set it all up. Now, the number one thing people complain about is it does not have a connection for your phone. But that doesn't matter because of all the stuff I'm about to show you, so let's just talk about why it is so great.
I mean, you tell me, is it easy?
To just change my voice?
Hello? Aside from the voice changer, there's a bunch of other cool stuff you could do so easy. Simple sound pad intros. Yo, this is Chris. I never say that, but my boy Bassa always does a cool little shing thing, and it sounds awesome. Shout out to Bassa. Now here's a really good one. You can always have some sounds that you have saved on your soundboard, and you can use them and control the volume with a physical slider as you're speaking. Always a big bonus. But there's another really cool feature that it has that no other soundboard has that I've seen, and that is the ability to take something like this SM7B mic, which is a power beast. It's so hungry for power that you normally need to use things like this little inline booster just so that you can use it. Well, here's the thing. I actually have a heater on in the other room, but you can't hear it because this mic has presets on this RODECaster Pro 2. I can literally use the touchscreen, swipe over, select this specific mic, not even made by Rode, and it's perfectly dialed to sound exactly the way that it should. And of course, I can fine tune it from there. Now I say that and I use this mic as the example because on even my RODECaster Pro 1, I could never get rid of all the hiss and the little things in the line, no matter how I adjusted the sound gate, all the little details that people don't want to know how to do. They just want to take something out of the box and run. This thing, that thing, didn't touch them. Just swiped over, selected the mic, perfect, ready to go for spaces. Now, another great feature is I have my MacBook connected, my streaming PC connected, and typically my phone is connected as well, and they can all hear each other. So I'm here on epidemicsound.com. I'm gonna play a song and I can adjust the levels of this song because I've got my MacBook set up on one of these dials. I also have my PC on a different dial, and then the phone, if I connect it with Bluetooth, it's on a dial, or I have it plugged into this iRig 2, which I'll be talking about right now. So now we're gonna get into all the parts and the things that you need to buy. But before I do that, I just wanna give a quick word of warning for anybody who's building a personal brand or running spaces or who wants to make content and not risk losing their account. Here's the deal. You're just not gonna get very far if you're using unlicensed music. Now, this isn't an ad. Nobody's paying me to say this, but I do have a referral code for Epidemic Sound. That's what I was using a minute ago to show you, and it's what I've used for years with my old brand, with all my current stuff, and it's because I've seen friends of mine in the Twitter world lose their whole account because they're just using popular, normal, unlicensed music, and they put that in their videos, and if there's ever a DMCA takedown, meaning those companies who have the rights to that music say, if you don't have the rights, kill those accounts, done, instant kill. Your thing that you spent all this time working for just gets shut off. You lose access to it. I've seen really bad stuff. Even big companies lose their video that is getting tons of traction, and it's devastating because what could have been an awesome thing gets killed because you don't have rights to that music. Just use something that keeps you safe, like Epidemic Sound. I do have a referral code that I'm gonna link up below. And of course, I want you to support what I'm doing, because if this helps you, man, tell me about it. Let me know. I wanna support you. And if you don't mind supporting me too, let's go. Okay, I'm about to show you a bunch of expensive gear that you do not need. You don't have to have this stuff. Sure, it can elevate you and take you from where you're at, putting out content, doing all these things, and elevate that and give you a better sound and all that. It will 100% do that. But what it won't do the work for you. So as Gary Vee says, you can read about doing push-ups, you can watch YouTube videos about doing push-ups, but if you're not actually doing the work, it's not gonna matter. So if you go buy all the dopest gear, it's not gonna make you some great content creator. Just like if you go buy a matching snowboard and boots and the outfit and you look super cute, does not make you a good snowboarder. You gotta go out there and do the work. So having said that, don't go blow a bunch of money and then realize that your content still sucks. Like, don't at me, bro. If that's the situation, just put out the content that you can using what you have now. Probably have a good phone that you could plug a little stupid mic in with the headset. You probably sound fine with that. And that's a better starting place than blowing all the money on what I'm about to show you. Okay, here we go. So first off, the RODECaster Pro 2 at $700 brand new. You might be able to find this thing used, but not many people sell them because they're dope. Once you got them, why are you gonna sell it? The older ones, you could probably find those things pretty cheap. Not so much with the RODECaster Pro 2. Another thing you can use is the Duo, which is like half the size. It only takes 2 mics instead of 4, so that might save you some bucks there. But you're gonna need to start with this main unit. Don't go after all the other cheap soundboards because you're gonna get noise in the line like the stuff I mentioned. You're gonna have to have amplifiers for your mics. There's all these things. In my experience, I haven't found anything better than the RODECaster Pro 2 for running these spaces, if that's your goal. And on that note, if you do like the sound of this mic, this is the Shure SM7B, so I'm linking that up as well. It's a great mic, but again, it really does need a lot of power, and the preamps inside of this RODECaster Pro 2 mean that it's just plug and play. You don't need to do anything extra, no inline things to buy. You just plug it in and it works, and it sounds like this. With this setup, you can have a PC connected to something like a laptop as well, a second device, because it's got that second USB-C cord, and you can have a phone connected via Bluetooth. So without buying anything else, just the mic, just the RODECaster, you've got 2 main devices and a phone connected all at the same time. Now, the reason that that's not enough, and why I'm gonna dive into a bunch of other weird nerdy gear next, is because the Bluetooth connection, for whatever reason, when connected to your phone, all of the audio going into the RODECaster sounds great. It sounds amazing. But if you're running live Twitter Spaces and you're trying to use the Bluetooth connection from the RODECaster Pro 2 to your phone, I don't know why, it makes you sound fuzzy. It doesn't sound crispy clear like I do right now. It sounds muffled. And after all the money spent, why would you want to sound muffled? We want you to sound better. Now, there is a way that you can sound great. You can sound amazing. And I'm going to tell you what parts to buy right now. You need an iRig 2. This thing, it's basically like what you would plug a guitar into and to be able to sit and produce music and plug it into your computer and all that. It's made for one thing, but we're going to use it for something very different. And it plugs into the RODECaster Pro 2 using a mic jack and a headphone jack. And then there's a couple little parts that kind of like separate the signal, break it into different pieces, and then bring it back together in a way that makes you sound fantastic on X Spaces. And it won't plug directly into your phone as is because it has a TRRS connection, meaning it's got 3 little black bands. So you need to plug in the adapter, the dongle, stupid word, to turn it into a lightning connection to plug into your iPhone 14 or older. Now, the newer iPhones have a USB-C plug, so it's not going to work the same. And a lot of the Android phones use a USB-C as well. So I have linked up 2 different types of dongles. Make sure if you have an iPhone 14 or older, you get the lightning connection. And if you have anything else, you're probably going to need the USB-C. But I've heard that the Pixel 6 did not work using the USB-C. Maybe it was a bad dongle. I don't know. Don't be a bozo, get an iPhone, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the iPhone 15 in a second. So I have everything you need listed below in this group of products on Amazon, but again, the USB-C or the Lightning dongle, figure out which one you need, and just buy that. You don't need both, just one. But I did hear one thing which makes this whole video pretty weird, because apparently the iPhone 15 I've heard can be plugged directly in using that extra cord that comes from the factory with the RODECaster Pro 2 and plugs directly into an iPhone 15. Now, in testing that with some friends, I heard reports back, it didn't work. They tried to do all the things, couldn't get it to work. But I do know that there's one very talented content creator named Mika who runs fantastic X Spaces. And I hear she's just got her RODECaster Pro Duo hooked up with the USB-C 2 cable plugged directly into the phone. And maybe it's a USB-C 1 cable plugged into the phone. I don't know. But all I know is that Mika runs these dope spaces. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Mika. But I don't know if that's confirmed or not. So maybe she will comment below and let us know if the iPhone 15 just plugs directly into the Duo, and then you don't need this whole freaking video. So if that's the case, good for you. For everybody else, let's keep going. Okay, so for the first time in this video, I am going to switch mics, and now you should be hearing me on the Rode Wireless Go 2. So I'm gonna try to set this thing up so that we can see all of the beautiful RODECaster stuff and all the connections that we need to make. Normally when I'm running a space, I have my iPhone plugged in to the iRig, and then that's obviously going to the RODECaster Pro 2. If I'm live streaming, then I've got a video camera there, the light, and then this boom arm kind of keeps everything pretty much easy to work with. So that's my whole little system here. And the iRig just plugs in at the bottom. So here I have my mic set all the way, it's closer to the top, but the iRig one I have set way lower down. So I've used channel 1 for my mic, channel 2 for the phone or for the iRig. And again, this is about a third of the way up. Now what I'm gonna have to do at this point is pull all of this stuff out. So all the cool fancy lights are gonna go away. So I'm about to power down the unit, but before I do, I wanna show you I have the pink right here, matches the pink right there. That is headphone 1, so that's what my main headphones go to. And then headphones 2 is actually hooked up to the iRig. So you see the green for 2 there, the green for 2 there. You could customize all those colors later, but I just wanted to point out before I unplug this thing, that's how I, just very quickly on the fly can turn up and down the volume of my headphones without messing with the iRig. All right, I'm gonna power this thing down right now, and then we're gonna unplug all of the fun little jacks in the backside. All right, we're gonna start by unplugging my main mic. This is what goes to the SM7B, and it's routed all the way down behind all my stuff. All right, so here is the back of the RODECaster, and we've got all of our cables from the Amazon store. Everything was linked up below. This is like a guitar cable, and it's got a 90-degree bend that helps a lot. I'm just gonna plug it all in and explain as I go. All right, so here's the iRig with nothing plugged into it, and we have a big jack on one side, a big jack on the other side, and then this little dude. What we're gonna start with is we're gonna take this part right here, and we're gonna plug it into where you see that little guitar, all right? Now, second part we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in the left and right channels from our other longer cord into that, all right? So here's what you're looking at right off the bat. That's the very first steps that you should take. Now, the second step you're gonna do is plug in the big jack on the other side. So we're gonna take this guitar cord, and this is why the 90-degree matters a lot, because it keeps it out of your way. See how it's like, if it wasn't having that 90-degree bend, it would kind of like loop around all big and stupid. So I do this, and then I actually have like these little Velcro wraps that I'll put around them just to keep all the wires tidy and out of the way. And something else you could do is you could take this TRRS cable and just get a long extension. So all of this stuff can be out of the way and you never have to see it. And you just have one little cord coming from this guy. In this case, I'm just gonna plug in the lightning adapter dongle. So we're all set with the iRig and it's ready to plug into the RODECaster. But really quick, make sure your gain is turned all the way up and the switch is moved over to FX.
So remember before I had my main mic plugged into the number 1 slot. So that's the cords that are still up there. So this XLR connection is gonna go to my mic, which leaves me number 2 that I want to plug in the iRig. And for that, we're gonna use the cord with the 90-degree bend. So if we follow that all the way over here, here is our 90-degree bend cable. We're just gonna put that right into the RODECaster. That leaves us with the headphone jack, which is gonna go into the headphone number 2 slot that you can see right here. So now when I slide this back into place, I'm gonna put my headphone jack into the headphone 1 slot and my XLR cable into the number 1 slot for the mic. Okay, so I'm gonna plug back in my USB-C 1, USB-C 2, my power cord, my headphones into headphone 1, and my mic is gonna go into mic 1. All right, we're ready to power it back on. Okay, so if we do a quick little test, we can see if I'm talking into my mic, it's hearing it. If I drop this all the way down, you don't see anything, but of course, when I raise it back up, it is good to go. Now I'm gonna test my phone connection, play a TikTok video, and if I look on there, number 2 is in fact responding. And if I drop this dial down, you will see it turns that off. So this is about a third of the way up. And again, you could see that this dial, I have it just shy of 3 o'clock. So it's not quite at 3, it's just a little bit before that. That's my settings. And then I have my main headphones a little less than 12 o'clock. So that's my setup. I do actually think, after sharing this with everybody, it kind of doesn't make sense for that little cord to be so short. So I think I will get an extension at some point, just so that I can kind of hide all that stuff. It's kind of ugly. I think it scares people. You might want to do the same thing. Maybe we'll do a part 2 of this video.